Hi, I'm Natasha, and I'm going to talk about a few tools using astrology to help become more aware of yourself and the people around you because we're all fighting our own battles and struggles, and it makes you a little bit more empathetic about each individual's path. So, today I'm going to talk about Saturn in Gemini or Saturn in the third house. And originally I was like, I don't know anyone who has Saturn in the third house or Saturn in Gemini. And then I was like, oh, that's me. I have Saturn in the third house, but I have Saturn in Sagittarius. But if you have Saturn in the third house, then third house represents Gemini energy. So Gemini is learning, speaking, writing, um, reading, all the little learning fundamental things that we learn in grade school. Gemini also represents our close neighbors and friends and short distance travel. So, Saturn being here, it can make the person struggle with all kinds of learning capabilities. It's just really slow and takes a really long time compared to other people to learn how to read or learn how to spell, learn how to speak. It just takes the person longer. Just pretend that you're um, kind of choose your worst subject in school. And if you're like a smarty brainiac, choose art or a sport or something that you suck at. If you're not like multi-talented or whatever. And now you're forced to do it because it's part of your graduation or accreditation or something for. But now you have to get really good at, or at least pass your worst subject in order to move up to the next grade or get your certification or whatever you're trying to go for. Um, so Saturn being there just creates a lot of delays and setbacks in that area, and the person has to work kind of really diligently and hard in that area over the course of a really long time, possibly till they're around the age of 40, until it gets a little bit better and for it to kind of ease up. So it can make people who have a lot of learning disabilities and challenges in this area have a really hard time because most jobs or being friends with people, you have to be able to talk, able to socialize, you need to be able to read and write or like write emails properly and professionally. So these people have to work really hard, but they get good at it because you're kind of forced to in a weird way in order to improve these things. It's just very also probably professional in this area of learning, wanting to learn everything, but at the same time, not is kind of how I would describe it. But I also have like a flipped chart, so I have this kind of duality thing going on for me. Um, there can be restrictions with close friends, family, like siblings, so things are delayed with kind of getting close to these people. There can be delays in getting kind of close or learning how to network with your close neighbors and friends and siblings. My sibling always moved away because he was in the Navy. So that is also kind of bringing delays there, or kind of like you have to work a little bit harder or diligently to kind of maintain or create a relationship. So that can be a play there. Saturn being in the third house can also create delays with short distance travel, um, or like a lot of restriction and responsibility when it comes to short distance travel, or even like uh, learning about your close cities or what's right in front of you. Like not really doing much in your close neighborhood. There's a lot of setbacks and just not, because Saturn is kind of sad. It's kind of restricted and boring. I'm a Capricorn, so Saturn rules my sun sign, and it's kind of like a woe is me, stoic, not so fun planet. Um, so it kind of creates responsibility in the friendship, maybe a little bit less partying and socializing, less Leo energy, I would say. Um, it just brings a lot of responsibility when it comes to maybe your close networks. But definitely in the learning sector, I would say anything to do with that. Okay, that's Saturn. And for most people, Saturn in Gemini is going to deal with some sort of learning, setback, delays, anxiety, speech impediments, being made fun of in the learning sector, maybe having a lisp or stutter or can't pronunciate things properly, maybe having to have a hard time learning the local language. So if you're a foreigner and you moved to a new country as a child and you had to learn like the new language, then you struggled, or it took you a really, really, really long time to learn the new language that you were kind of forced into, even if everyone's speaking to you in that new language all of a sudden. There's going to be struggles there. Writing might be kind of challenging too, like things might not make sense, or it might be all over the place, or maybe not being able to put ideas onto paper. But these people, at the end of the day, because Saturn forces you to learn it anyways, but the hard way, the long way, the delayed way, these people usually become really pretty good at it. And you know, because you learn the best way when you kind of get punched in the face with it all the time. I'm not saying get punched in the face or anything like that, but learning things the harder way is usually the best or the most effective. So that is Saturn in Gemini, or Saturn in the third house. Okay, bye.